Dying with Jesus, by death reckoned mine.
Hello friends, and welcome back to Living Green with us. We are truly sorry because we know that we haven't answered your Q&A in the specified time, but we have been really busy and there was a lot that happened here on the property. We just want to update you on what has been happening here in Living Green with us. I really respect those people who have country living vlogs. It is a lot of work to keep up with your subscribers. I don't know how they do it, but I find it's a lot of work. I have to use my mobile phone because we don't have a camera anymore, and sometimes my phone plays up and refuses to work, and sometimes I'm in the middle of doing a vlog and I just lose everything and I have to start all over again. And then when I do get my videos and pictures, I have to send it across the ocean, thousands of miles, to my daughter, and she will edit and then she will upload to YouTube for me. I'm just being real. Sometime in the middle of a video, your mind goes blank for quite a few minutes, and sometimes you have to abandon that video and cut and cut and cut for a number of times. At present, we are trying to retrieve some videos and pictures for our Q&A/testimony, but we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And we here at Living Green with us, we truly want to give you a country living Caribbean experience with us. So we try to do our best by God's grace. Without further ado, let's go and have a look and listen to what has been happening with us here. Recently, we had a fire around the property, and so this is why we have been quite busy. We sustained loss to a lot of our crops, fruit trees and short crops. And so we have been cleaning and replanting. We have been attempting to get the property back to the way it was by God's grace. At the time when we had the fire, it was very, very hot. You know, it's always summertime in the Caribbean. But in the Caribbean, they call this time dry season. So we have a lot of wildfires taking place. So we had a fire on the property. It was a Sunday, and the fire spread rapidly.
A burden that he doth not bear.
And the neighboring land around us, there were fire taking place as well. I've never seen a fire spread so rapidly. In a few minutes, the fire was close to the house, and we were so scared. We were just running around like crazy, trying to pour water on the fire that was really close to the house. We gave it our best shot, but in a few minutes we could not breathe, and we just had to leave the house and go at a distance and look on, and just look on helplessly.
Moment by moment, I fly from above, looking to Jesus till glory does shine. Moment by moment, oh Lord, I am.
In the meantime, we also was praying as well And at intervals, we will come back close to the house and try and see if we could, you know, pour water on fires that were getting close to the house. I've never been so scared. I thought the house was going to go up in flames. We had to venture into the house because we realized we had to pack an overnight bag, because we realized we would not be able to sleep in the house that night. And so my husband and I ventured into the house, and we could hardly breathe. There was ashes everywhere. Everything was smelling of smoke. The clothes that we were preparing for overnight, it was all smoky. I also went to the kitchen and I just took anything that my hand went on, because I was just confused, didn't know really what to do, because we never had this experience before. And so I just took some food from the kitchen, because it wasn't lunchtime yet, because I had to think on my feet. I had to think of later in the evening. One of our family members came over to lend moral support, because that's all that could have happened at the time, because no one could do nothing at the time. And we just sat by the car and we just looked on as the fire spread rapidly.
Moment by moment, oh Lord, I am thine. Never a weakness that he does not feel.
As evening drew on, we realized that we could not sleep in the house, as I said before, and we had to sleep elsewhere. So my husband took us, myself, my daughter and my son, and we slept elsewhere, but my husband decided to stay, and he slept in the car from a distance, because he wanted to keep an eye on the property and on the house. And so my husband took us where we could refresh, and we slept there that night. And my husband returned to the property so that he could keep an eye on the property. We were so tired at night, I could hardly sleep. I couldn't wait for morning to come, and as soon as daybreak, I phoned my husband and asked him, well, what happened during the night. I was so worried about him and the property. My husband recounted what happened during the night. He said around 3:30 a.m. he had to call out the fire engine due to the fact that there was a fire really close to the house, and he was really alarmed at this for the safety of the house. And I was like, are you joking? A fire engine came up the hill, because where we live is very steep and you have to have a 4x4. And so he said that the fire engine was 4x4. During this time I said, Lord, how are we going to finance this replanting and this cleaning of the property and get it back to a reasonable standard?
A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. Our for still our ancient foe doth seek to work us woe. His craft and power are great, and armed with cruel hate. On earth is not his equal. Did we in our own strength confide, our striving would be losing. Were not the right man on our side, the man of God's own choosing, doth ask who that may be.
Always have a plan.
Christ Jesus, it is He, Lord Sabaoth, His name, from age to age.
Shortly after, my husband said, I believe the Lord in His mercy allowed this fire to happen. And I said, I was thinking the same thing. So there were areas on the property that we never venture. There were trees that were thrown down, and other big trees grew up between them, and tall grass. And so we were never able to go in those places. And so after the fire, we were able to roam on all part of the property. It's like the land was free from the bushes, most of it. And so now we were able to plant on most of those no-go areas. Now what's left to do is to take out loads of tree stumps. These stumps was left by the man we hired when he cut the trees down, and the fire took out some of them, but now some of them we have to take them out manually. And cutting up of some massive logs that is left all over the property after the fires reveal them, and especially in front of the house. It's about 3 lots of land with logs lying on them in front of the house. Would you guys believe that the trees that were damaged in the fire, most of which we thought we lost, but as soon as the rainy season came after the fire, the trees on them, they just sprang back to life. And they were a different kind of green, luscious, dark green. And some of the trees that was burned in the fire, they had fruits on them. And would you believe that some of the trees that they haven't missed a beat, they just came back, and after a few weeks, there were flowers on them again. And some of the trees that was really burned badly, we thought we lost, but now some of them are shooting up from under the ground by the roots. And so we are really thankful to God for all His mercies and kindness towards us. And where the tree were in the growth before the fire, they are now further along now than they were before the fire. And so before I go, I would like to leave you these 2 quotes that I read, and it helped us to see where God has been working for us, even in a fire. In the future life, the mysteries that here annoyed and disappointed us will be made plain. We shall see that our seemingly unanswered prayers and disappointed hopes have been among our greatest blessings. Help in Daily Living, page 13. Thank you for visiting Living Green with us. I hope you were blessed by this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and like. And we will see you really soon. Bye.
His